When we think about the Gulf War, images of tanks, jets, and soldiers in the desert probably come to mind. We remember the swift military campaign, Operation Desert Storm, and then, what? For most of us, that's where the story ends. But what if I told you the deadliest part of the war happened after the last shot was fired? It's a side of the story we rarely hear, and it's one we need to understand. After the military conflict ended in 1991, the United Nations imposed comprehensive economic sanctions on Iraq. The stated goal was to pressure the regime to comply with ceasefire terms, including disarming its weapons of mass destruction. The intention might have seemed straightforward, but the real-world consequences were devastating for ordinary Iraqi citizens. These weren't targeted sanctions aimed at the leadership. They were a blanket blockade that crippled the entire country. Imagine a nation suddenly cut off from the world. Imports of food, medicine, and essential supplies for infrastructure, like water purification parts, were severely restricted. Before the war, Iraq had a relatively modern healthcare system and infrastructure. After the sanctions, it all began to crumble. Hospitals couldn't get basic supplies like anesthesia, antibiotics, or even clean syringes. Water treatment plants broke down, leading to widespread waterborne diseases like cholera and typhoid. Malnutrition became rampant, especially among children. The numbers are staggering and hard to comprehend. Multiple studies, including those by UNICEF, reported a massive increase in child mortality rates. It's estimated that hundreds of thousands of civilians, a huge portion of them children under the age of 5, died as a direct result of these sanctions. They didn't die from bombs, but from preventable diseases, from contaminated water, and from starvation. This wasn't a quick, clean war. It was a slow-grinding humanitarian crisis that unfolded over more than a decade. This story forces us to ask tough questions. What is the true cost of war? Does the impact end when the soldiers go home? The Gulf War sanctions show us that post-war policies can be just as destructive as active conflict. If not more so, it's a somber reminder that when we talk about war, we must also talk about the long, painful aftermath that is often lived out by the most vulnerable, far from the headlines. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you found this perspective valuable, please consider subscribing for more deep dives into history.